to the next topic, and that is Amber and Heather, the fear of trying again. Like when we think about doing this again and wanting to have another baby, those fears that come associated, pregnancy after loss. Give me some insight to that.
Oof. Okay. So I felt like our loss was kind of layered. My brother, they had a baby that had a tumor on the base of her spinal cord. She was born 1 year before the boys, and she lived for 30 minutes and then passed away in a surgery that they were trying to remove the tumor, and she didn't. She lived for 30 minutes. So then whenever we lost our boys a year and a few months later due to an umbilical cord accident, I guess I was shocked that it happened 2 times. I mean, it's only me and my brother. Like we've lost 3 kids between 2 people. Like it's just so crazy that it happened twice. I don't know, but I remember being in delivery and just saying, when can we try again? And my doctor was like, well, we're gonna cross that bridge when we get to it. But right now, you in labor, like stop being crazy, you know? But I don't know if I wasn't ready to try again, but I didn't want to have empty arms. You know what I mean? Like I needed something to hold. So then we did start trying again a few months later. It took forever. It was an infertility journey that we began. And I remember just being really scared, but Heath would say stuff like, so like ultimately our goal was to grow our family. Like we had the boys because we wanted children, and they passed away, and we still want children. Like we want children that live maybe earthside, you know? So we that I just had to stick to the basics, like keep it very simple. Our therapist would say you got to feel the fear and do it anyway. And that's what we did. And so we ended up getting pregnant 3.5 years later. We actually found out that we were pregnant for our rainbow baby on their birthday last year, May 6th of last year, so 2019. The pregnancy was amazing. I was very healthy and everything was great, but I'm telling you, the anxiety took 10 years off of my life. Easy. Just so anxious. And just live day to day. Like today I'm pregnant for Capri. Tomorrow I might not be, but I'm gonna live I just go take her in today, you know. Even in delivery was very obsessive with like intrusive thoughts. Like they had a blood pressure cuff on her, and I'm thinking to myself, like, keep that cuff, because if something happens to her, I want everything that's touched her body, which she was alive. And you know, anyway. But I would like to share something that I read from a doula that I follow on Instagram. It was good for me. Okay, so it says, pregnancy after loss is an exercise in surrender. It is a leap of faith. It is knowing that everything can go horribly wrong and choosing to do it anyway, praying that it will turn out differently. I have birthed life and I have birthed death, the two woven intricately into the fabric of my psyche, revealing a beauty of sacredness that only one can love. The veil of naivety has fallen from my face. I see more clearly what is and what can be, and I am reminded daily of the reality of mortality, hoping every day for life, while accepting that death may be a part of this story. Death is really a part of every story, though, isn't it? The old dies as the transform begins to emerge. Life, death, sorrow, love, joy. To experience any of it, we must surrender. Loved that. Got me through it. Just had to surrender daily. I don't know. We made it. I don't know.
That is like really, it's profound but beautiful. Yeah. Thank you so much. Amber, you've done it too. You've got a rainbow, and there was a lot of anxiety filled with that, right?
Right. So, ironically, when I first met Heather, I thought I was talking to myself, because I'm one of two, my brother and me, and my brother had 2 losses, 2 stillborns. One would be I think 10 and one would be 11 now. So like, I was naive to think it would happen to me. I just thought, well, it happened to them, it's not going to happen to me. And guess what? I already gave birth to one. So like, that's just not in my path. Um, so it's just kind of crazy how it all happens, because I was kind of hesitant at first of kind of just opening up about it, because I didn't really see my brother and his wife talk about it, which kind of made it hard for me because I didn't know what to expect or how, just how to navigate. So when you have one healthy child and you deliver and you're great, your next one you think is going to just roll. And I'll never forget when we lost Lenny Kay, kind of like Heather. I'm like, okay, well, when are we going to try again? I remember telling Tim in the hospital, well, when, like, how long do we have to wait? Now, I never asked my doctor just because I was scared, but he's like, well, I think we should give it 6 months. I'm like, yeah, me too, because I want to make sure we can, grieve and kind of get going. Well, joke's on me. I had been kind of talking to Heather and another mom about just being pregnant after a loss, because they both were going through it. And July comes and I'm pregnant. So I was very hesitant about everything. I really thought, because we had no answers while we lost our baby. So I thought everything I would say, everything I would do, anything I just thought anything that I did in that pregnancy, I was not going to do in this one. So, we kind of rock and roll. It was a great pregnancy overall. But every day, and Heather would tell me this, every day you're pregnant is a great day. Like, every day you're pregnant, every milestone you hit, you're going to make it through it. You're going to, but at the end of the day, I still could not fathom what she was telling me, because I was like, well, I don't have one. Why wouldn't I have this one? So, but I will say every fear, every anxiety, every anger I had, because I was angry during my pregnancy, just like, I think probably is normal. You took one, and what's going to happen with this one? But it was worth it. I mean, it was definitely, we did a bunch of genetic testing. I went to the doctor. I mean, I think I went every week, and literally every week until 32 weeks. At 32 weeks, I went twice a week. So I'm like, I couldn't be more grateful for my doctors and like what they did to take those precautions to make sure that I mentally was okay, because it was soon. I mean, I had just buried Lenny Kay May, and then I had, I'm pregnant July. So, I mean, I was looking at my chart one day with my doctor, and she's like, oh, wow, we had an ultrasound in May. I'm like, oh, yeah, we did, like that. Like, it's just a lot. So, like, for me, I feel like my journey has taken me differently than a lot of moms. And, my hope is that those that want to try again will and are able to do it successfully and bring home a breathing baby, because at the end of the day, once you've lost a baby, your fear is you're never going to, like, you just think everything's going to die, truthfully. Like, you just don't really know. So I'm very grateful that we had a successful pregnancy, though, and I hope that anybody that wants to reach out to us can, because Tim's very open about it too, because he had to hear me go to bed at night. Oh my God, is my water going to break tonight? Is it going to be tonight? Oh my God, like, because that's what happened to me. So I'm just very grateful for Maddie's and having this opportunity.
I'd like to add on to that too. So I'm a very anxious person, very anxious. And when I found out that we were pregnant, let me scoot over some more. When I found out that we were pregnant, there was a lot of anxiety for reasons that I didn't even know. My mom was already wondering 1,000 miles a minute. But I don't know who said it the other night, but there's a great video by Jocko Willink, and it describes the anxiety to a T. It's literally a roller coaster. It's gonna hit you in waves. Some days it's great. Some days it's like, oh man, are we gonna make it through this? But if there's anything I remember about the pregnancy when I found out, it's literally every day by day. It's for us, it was Thursday to Thursday. If we made it to a Thursday and we were still pregnant, it was a good day. So it's crazy. That video, if you haven't seen it, go watch it, which I'm sure all of y'all have seen it. But it's kind of going off of like Heather's poem too. It's I don't know. It's something that I can tell you, as a person who suffers from anxiety pretty bad, once he was here and breathing, all that just goes away. So, if any of y'all husbands or anybody on there wants to talk about it, tell them to holler at me. Cook. Talk.
Thank you, Tim. Yeah, that's like such valuable insight. You know, I had another family just recently who's now had a rainbow baby say something that I thought was really, really heavy. And she said, "I'm really sorry that I put so much pressure on my baby to get here." She said, "I feel like one day I'll need to write a letter and apologize and explain how much pressure I put on her to get here." And when I heard her say those words, she said, "Because I feel sorry. I feel sad that on my unborn baby, I've already placed so much pressure on her." But I think as a bereaved and grieving mom, we do that anyway. Even with our living children, we place a lot of pressure to keep our children here and living after we've gone through loss. So I think that's all super normal and very natural. It's a natural consequence of loss. It's a natural consequence. So